Hey guys, Domboy601, and today we have the Monarch, the British Tier 7 battleship that is kind of just been sitting there for global XP that I hadn't quite yet picked up, but then the wonderful secret of Santa's came around and I opened one of the crates and out popped the Monarch, so it saved me 750,000 global XP, and so that will be heading towards the Elbing or the Stalingrad or whatever whenever a new GXP ship comes along. Anyways, we got the Monarch. I hadn't done a review on it. I hadn't even touched it. So I was like, you know what? Someone requested, and I usually do get questions about the Monarch. So I was like, you know what? We're going to take this out, see what is what with the Monarch, and do a review. If you haven't been around for a review, what do we do? Well, we show off the commander, we show off the modules, we show off the build, then we walk through a game with it. First note, the game you see here, we are running a different commander than we actually recommend. We are running a Zerlane Nelson for this. This is actually my first game in it, and I was like, I opened with this shot and did that to the Iowa, and I was like, oh, okay, that was some pretty good accuracy. This Monarch may have some potential, and we'll see how everything else goes. But with all that said, let's go ahead and dive on into the commander I actually recommend for this ship, and that's going to be Charles Madden. That's right. We're running good old Charles Madden, the brawling battleship commander for the Brits. The idea here is get that reload as low as possible, and that's exactly what we want to do with the brawler skill. So inspirations, we are running our Megatron and Angelo Iachino. I'm still kind of doing some testing between Iachino and Cunningham. I think I may go back to Cunningham after you'll see some of the results where we may actually want a flat arc across all of our groupings. But his base trait for Madden is going to both boost main battery traverse and reduce reload time. Then we are running Brawler, Crisscross, Firefighter, Master Mechanic, and Will to Rebuild. Master Mechanic being a very important skill, as well. You got some real good heals on Monarch here. Some incredible heals. Let's go ahead and take a look at the mod slots. We are running Aiming System Mod 1, though I did try out a Main Battery Mod 2. I think Aiming System Mod 1, just to get the increase in dispersion, or the reduction in dispersion, I guess, is why I ended up sticking with Aiming System Mod 1. But I think there's absolutely an argument for Main Battery Mod 2, because the turret traverse is slow. It is absolutely slow. Then we are running Prop Mod to help with acceleration and deceleration, Concealment Mod, and finally Main Battery Mod 3. You could probably, main Battery Mod 3 is where you want to be. Consumables, well, you got access to 3 of them. First, you have the Damage Control Party. It's going to last for only 9 seconds, and it's going to reload in 70.4 seconds. Then we have Repair Party. It's going to heal 1,670 health per second. It's going to last 11.9 seconds. It's going to reload in 92 seconds, and we're going to get 4 charges of it. Then finally, you have the option between a fighter plane, a spotter plane, and enhanced secondary targeting. We are running spotter plane just to help with the accuracy when we want to make those key shots. So those are all of the modules and consumables. Let's go ahead and start diving on into the stats. So first things first, hit points 53,900, which is on the lower end for the tier 7 battleships, but she makes up for it in the heal. Armor thickness is between 13 and 457 millimeters. We'll go ahead and take a look. Basically what you're looking at here is Monarch is a King George battleship, and like the Lion, she gets 32 millimeters of armor all the way around. So on that bow and on the deck, she has 32 millimeters of armor. And then if we kind of peel everything back so you can see the Citadel nice and below the waterline. It's a decent armor scheme. Like it's a 32 millimeter King George. It's the same thing as a Lion. It's kind of funny because with King George, you start with 14-inch guns. Then with this, you get 15-inch guns, and then you have the Lion, which is King George with 16-inch guns. So they give you a wide variety of guns to choose from with the King George. It really is a very adaptable platform, I guess. Anyways, so those are the armor stats for Monarch. Torpedo reduction, you're looking at 22%. Now, going to the heals to get a total potential health, each heal that you do has a potential to heal 19,873, or nearly half your hit points. Yeah, like that's legitimately 40% of your hit points you can heal back with your heals. If you add the 4 heals together and add the regular base health, you're looking at a total potential health of 100, total potential health pool of 133,392. We already kind of talked about those main batteries already, but let's just dive on in. 3-barrel 381, aka 15-inch guns with a firing range of 15.8 kilometers, reload time of 19.2 seconds, with a shell sprint of 28 rounds per minute. 180 time is going to be 37 seconds. HE damage is going to be 6,300, giving you a DPM of 176,400 and a 35% chance to set fire. AP damage, you're looking at 11,900 with a DPM of 333,200. Secondaries, well, you're going to have 8 2-barreled 134mm guns with a firing range of 5.2 kilometers, which is kind of average for the tier. Reload time on those guns, 6.7 seconds, with a secondary damage of 1,900 and a secondary fire chance of 8%. There are no torpedoes for Monarch, so we don't need to worry about that. But we do have AA, and the AA is, it's okay for the tier. 4.5 kilometer range, very low at those extremities at only 65 damage per second, and it only crawls up to 315. Maneuverability, max speed of the vessel is 28 knots with a turning radius of 790 meters, which puts it middle of the road for maneuverability, and a rudder shift time of 21 seconds. Finally, concealment. Detectability by sea is going to be 13 kilometers, detectability by air 10.9 kilometers, and while firing in smoke, 13.9 kilometers. Okay, so welcome to Crash Zone in the Monarch. We are here over on the seaside. The plan for Monarch, and the way we kind of have to play this, is try to stay concealed as long as possible, given that we have a shorter range because we have a Brawler currently enabled. So what we want to do, use these islands off to the left-hand side, get into cover, try to establish some crossfires, use them for cover, because of course, while Monarch has some decent armor, lots of shells do like to fly through her. She is not the tankiest ship, and you need to manage your expectations, because you can come back from a lot thanks to those heals, but you need to take damage in the correct way. So positioning is kind of the most important part. So starting out early with this kind of long flank, that's the plan, and we'll kind of go from there. Of course, first enemy pops up, a Soyuz and a Vladivostok. So double Russian ships, double Russian battleships, both of which have extremely hard noses, and that means they're probably going to be very much bow into us the majority of this time. So we are going to need to use our HE for the vast majority of these occasions. Of course, the British ships are known for their relatively reliable HE, and they do have a very strong HE. Khabarovsk also pops up there. We're going to take the early shot at the destroyer, because if we can get some hits on him, we'll absolutely take it. But we're going to push up to this next island, try to start to get in range of those 2 enemy battleships, and try to start farming HE on them. The idea being that the weakness to the Russians is they have fantastical bow-in armor, so AP does nothing to them. HE can absolutely, because, well, they have that limited number of damage control parties. If you can run them out of damage control parties, usually they have between, I think, 3 and 4, then you can just burn them down, because you'll just be able to set permafire after permafire after permafire, and that is kind of going to be the secret to our plan here. Thankfully, we do have something working to our side. 1, we have the fantastic HE, and 2, we have a fairly high cyclic rate, right? We have a nearly 19 seconds on the reload. We did earlier run a full reload build on this, we could get it down to 18 seconds, which is absolute madness, because if you ripple fire that at a cruiser, that's every 6 seconds they can have 15-inch shells coming their way, which is a ton of fun. Like that's a good time all around. But our plan here, try to stay over here, try to stay fairly well angled. I say as we totally open up to these guys, but try to engage them, and try to maneuver so that if they do push in, we can have some sort of crossfire established onto them, and of course just continue to hit them with the HE. Cabros pops up again. Once again, the fast reload of the Monarch, that's its big selling point. Is it a great selling point? No, it isn't. So I'll be honest, this game is a very slow game, and it's a lot of just shooting HE at these fine folks. So while we're in the middle section of this game, where we kind of just use this island for cover, or use it to kind of protect our side, let me tell you my thoughts on Monarch. I'm kind of happy it's a global XP ship, because it does offer something unique. I don't think it offers anything too spectacular, though. It does definitely fit the bill as a global XP ship. While I was doing this video, or while I was trying to get footage for this video, fellow community contributor, Where Are You, Aaron, was hosting a large gathering of other community contributors and doing count-ins on his streams, and I accidentally got into a match with the count-ins, and the other CCs definitely laughed when they're like, "Tommy, what are you doing here? Why did you choose the Monarch of all things?" I was like, "Guys, I wasn't even trying to be here. I'm just trying to get footage for a review." I was properly slapped. We ended up properly losing that match because it was all the community contributors and some very good players on the other team against, well, myself and the Monarch, and our team very much collapsed. But anyways, the point being, Monarch, not really that great, but she is kind of fun. It's very weird because at tier 7 you have both Monarch and Vanguard as far as the free to acquire ships currently. I don't think you can acquire Lion as of right now, though I do think it's supposed to come back at some point in the future, that being the 16-inch gun version of the King George. And both Monarch and Vanguard have 15-inch guns, have a fairly low reload. Vanguard having a very good heal, having a reload booster, but having one less barrel. Like that's the trade-off. And also, I do feel like Vanguard does have a much more accurate fire, or a little bit more accurate. Anyways, we slap the Soyuz right there. Of course, he's saying this is why we wanted to be up at this island, so that if someone like our friend right here decided to push in, we would have access to this broadside like we do right here. We had that one very juicy salvo, and well, a second juicy salvo sends him down to the bottom of the ocean. We flip back over to HE because we know this Vlad is going to just stay bow in for a good chunk of time, and we'll go ahead and push forward. Anyways, what I was saying is Monarch, when comparing Monarch and Vanguard, it's very much like, I don't know why you would necessarily want to pick Monarch. Reloads are nearly identical, so you still maintain that fast firing thing, which was, I will say, that was definitely an appeal factor for me, was this kind of high firing rate that you can achieve on these ships, because guys, making ships go boom and, you know, shooting quickly is always fun, and when you can do that with a battleship, it's a joyous occasion, it's a joyous time, and to be able to do that in a ship like this, absolutely a treat. But like, do I really want to take out Monarch ever? No, not really. I don't think I will be taking this vessel out after the review. I am glad I have it because it does offer something unique, but when compared to Vanguard, I feel like it's very much the same, and I would rather have the reload booster on the Vanguard in order to have some even more fun shenanigans. So anyway, we started pushing out here. Enemy team doing a very good job with map control. They're currently up both on points and on ships. The good news is this Vladivostok, think he's starting to get whittled down as far as the number of damage control parties he has, but we are, like I said, this is a very slow match, but I feel like this is how you kind of have to play Monarch. Kind of bow in, HE spam any enemy battleships, take advantage when you do get the broadsides of enemy ships, and use the fact that you aren't running like Thermal Cannoneer, and you have a relatively high top speed for a battleship to be able to maneuver around the map. Make sure you're angling properly, because if you've noticed, we're just kind of letting the fires burn. We're not doing anything until we have 2 fires down on us, and then we're just healing back a ton of the health because we have those ginormous heals available to us, and that's kind of what we can do. Of course, Vlad hits us with some more HE, and well, he takes out our AA. Not that we had a lot of AA, but we're now absolutely we absolutely don't have any more. Vlad drops off because he hasn't fired in the last 20 seconds. He's going to continue, and as you can see, this is where I have the feeling that maybe Cunningham would be more useful, because we're bracketing the Vladivostok, which tells me as far as aiming point goes, we're doing okay, right? Scharnhorst wouldn't assist us because Scharnhorst is going to shrink down the ellipse in which the shells can land, or the center point from each shot. What we want here is to get those shells to group closer together. Of course, we now have the 2 options to choose from, Iachino and Cunningham. Cunningham having an equal effect, and with Monarch, it may actually behoove to switch over to Cunningham, just because you have, just because of the way you may have to approach enemy vessels, like we've had to approach this Vladivostok, where they're going to be nose in. You're going to want those tighter shell groupings on the battleships. So that's kind of just where I am. And right now I'm like, okay, Vlad, he has to be going down. Perfect, he goes down. We finally cleared the side. We're all matched up on ships. Let's go. We have the chance to win this. We're at 3 ships sunk. We can go for the Kraken. We're going there. Tirpitz broadside. Let's go ahead. Send him shells his way, even though Jean Bot here is fairly low on health. They're separate enough where it's not like they're going to be will to rebuilding each other. Our gearing takes out Jean Bot right there, so it's time to concentrate on this Tirpitz. We've loaded HE because we thought he was going to turn in. Also, if this is going to come down to a sort of brawl in the end, we want to use this HE early, because we can hopefully disable his torpedo launchers, that being one of the bigger threats in brawling situations. So some more HE here, and if I'm being honest, upcoming is where we make a mistake that ends up ultimately costing us this match, because as you can see, they are quickly gaining on points. There is no way for this gearing to really do anything. He could move into the capture point to kind of freeze out the points, and that could assist us, because right now they have two capture points to our 1. But what I probably need to do is concentrate on this Roma, because as you can see, he is at a slither of health. I was like, oh, he's gonna get finished off. Carrier is gonna be able to finish him off. We'll be all set. We'll finish off the Tirpitz. We'll be up on points. It's going to be beautiful. That's how we're gonna win. That's the game plan right now. But sadly, well, you'll see what happens. Anyways, Tirpitz regaining some health right here, just probably using one of his repair parties. We're sticking. We flip back over to the AP, see if we can knock some of those front turrets. But as we know, he's going to stay nose in. Flip back over to the HE. We've seen that he's damage conned right there. So if we can get another fire on him, that means we'll be all set for a run at him, and he'll kind of melt away since he doesn't have anyone to give him will to rebuild. So we're gonna fire the HE, try to get the fire started. We get 1 permafire right here, which is exactly what we want. He starts to turn out, which tells us he may have something in the form, a gift for us in the form of torpedoes. This is why we're backing up right here. We want to make it, we want to try to maximize the distance between us and those torpedoes. If we can do that, then they should be spread out enough and we should be good. But the bigger problem has just occurred to us is Roma's not in range. Roma ain't in range at all, and he's going to stay up, and we need him in order to have a chance of winning this. So we need to get full speed ahead, try to take out this Roma if we can. He's just at the edge of our range, and he doesn't have much health remaining. So if we can land a couple shots on him, it will be good. Gearing starts firing at him. Roma sends a salvo our way. As he does that, he begins to turn out, and with only 40 seconds remaining, he's doing the right thing here and getting the hell out of Dodge. And unfortunately, that's going to seal the defeat for us at 4 kills. But overall, it was a fun game. Monarch, she's a fun ship. The ability to fire off rounds as low as every 18 seconds, fantastic fun. But I think for my British ships, my tier 7 British battleships, I probably would stick with Vanguard. Anyways, guys, if you like the video, go hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. See ya.